6 weeks into decoding the 10th channel, an engineer who had spent most of that time assuming it was noise dressed up as data noticed something almost embarrassingly simple. The gaps between pulses weren't random. They repeated. Not the pulses themselves, the silences between them. Whatever the 10th channel was, it had rhythm. MERIDIAN went silent in 1997 and returned in 2024, its position inconsistent with 27 years of undisturbed coasting. Buried in its telemetry was a data block matching none of its 9 known instruments. The reconvened team named it, only half joking, the 10th channel. This is the story of what happened when they finally read it. Before anyone could call it a discovery, it had to survive elimination. Not a known compression artifact. Not thermal noise, which has its own well-documented signature. Not a transmission error from any of the ground stations receiving it. 3 independent dishes recorded the identical pattern. Whatever it was real, it was structured, and it was coming from MERIDIAN. Once the gaps were confirmed to repeat, a signals engineer treated the channel the way old telegraph operators once treated a suspicious wire. Not as a waveform to be measured, but as a code to be counted. Grouped the pulses by their gap lengths, and the 10th channel stopped looking like an instrument reading entirely. It started looking like numbers. The numbers, once extracted, arrived in tidy, repeating groups of 3. 3 values, a pause, 3 more values, a pause, over and over, changing only slightly from one repetition to the next. To anyone who has ever read a spacecraft's tracking data, a repeating triplet that drifts slowly over time has exactly one obvious shape: coordinates. Coordinates require a reference frame, a fixed point, and a set of axes that give the numbers meaning. The team tried the 2 most obvious candidates first: a sun-centered frame, standard for anything traveling this far from Earth, and a frame centered on the solar system's own center of mass. Neither produced a position anywhere near known space. The numbers were consistent. The map they were supposed to sit on didn't exist yet. What kept the team from dismissing it as garbage data was the one thing that behaved perfectly. Whatever the coordinates meant, they were internally consistent. The same triplet, drifting smoothly and slowly exactly the way a real position would drift for something moving at a real physical speed. It was not noise wearing the shape of data. It was data, in a language nobody yet had the key for. It was the same engineer who had first spotted the rhythm who offered the guess nobody else wanted to say out loud first. Every standard astronomical origin had failed. What if the origin point wasn't a place in space at all, but a moment, the exact position MERIDIAN occupied at the instant its signal cut out in 1997? Coordinates measured not from a star, but from a silence. Run against that origin, the coordinates tightened not perfectly, but meaningfully closer to internally coherent than either standard frame had managed. Close enough that nobody could dismiss it. Not close enough that anyone would stake a paper on it. The team is, as of this recording, still narrowing the fit, one repetition of the pattern at a time. If the guess holds, the 10th channel is not reporting where MERIDIAN is relative to the stars. It is reporting where MERIDIAN is relative to the exact instant it went silent, as if that moment, not the sun, not the galaxy, is the fixed point the entire system is built to measure from. Spacecraft are not designed with silence as their reference frame. Nothing in MERIDIAN's original blueprint suggests anyone intended it to be. The team split along a now familiar line. The first camp holds that this is an elaborate coincidence of curve fitting, enough free parameters, and almost any smooth drift can be made to look like it fits almost any origin point, including one chosen after the fact because it made a good story. The second camp notes that the fit did not merely work. It improved repeatedly, exactly as more of the 10th channel was decoded, which coincidence does not usually do. Whichever camp is right, the 10th channel has done one thing beyond dispute. It has connected the trajectory problem directly back to the cutout itself. Meridian's position no longer looks like an isolated mystery about where a coasting spacecraft ended up. It looks like a system built to measure distance from one specific, unexplained moment in 1997. The same moment, a fully nominal spacecraft stopped transmitting mid-sentence for no logged reason at all. A spacecraft does not normally need a reference frame centered on its own worst moment. If the 10th channel really is counting distance from that instant, then whatever caused the 1997 cutout did not simply end Meridian's transmission. It may have started something else, something that has been running, quietly measuring. For the entire 27 years, everyone assumed the probe was dead. There is one piece of physical evidence nobody has re-examined with what the team now knows. The original 1997 raw signal recording itself, still archived on the original tape, never reanalyzed with modern tools because nobody in 1997 had a reason to look for a 10th channel. If it is there, even for a fraction of a second, even buried in noise the old equipment couldn't separate, everything about when this began changes. We are still listening. If this pulled you in, subscribe. New mysteries drop regularly across every series in the archive project. The next episode's waiting.